Because growing up as a young boy in Memphis, Tennessee, coming home, watching reruns of the original series, George Takei was the only non-stereotypical portrayal of an Asian that I could see as a boy. So that was very important to me. And thank goodness George Takei has a great voice. Because imagine if he had a horrible voice. Imagine imagine him at con going, or 8, or 9. Like if he had this like going through puberty voice. But instead, young Asian American boy that I was, I got to see this man with arguably one of the most resonant and low voices in the Star Trek world. And I saw him just every afternoon, warp 8, warp 9. And it was just glorious, so. I heard George Takei talking about how, it was at some convention, he started talking about how he was at this hotel that had the best shower, the best pressure, the best shower head he'd ever experienced. It was like, that shower was magnificent. Asian Pacifics in entertainment. They had a dinner, awards show. I was the MC, and so was Lauren Tom. Lauren Tom, the actress, she was a co-MC. So the dinner was going on, and the organizer came up to us and said, Garrett, Lauren, you guys are on right now. So start the program. So we get up to the podium, Lauren gets up there, and she's like, and if you know Lauren Tom, her voice is small. She's like, hello, hi, we're ready to start the show. Everyone's still eating, clanking play. They're not even paying attention to her. No attention is given to Lauren Tom. She's getting frustrated. She doesn't know what to do. That's when I told her, Lauren, this is when we need a little bit of George. She goes, what? I said, give me the microphone. I said, and in George's voice, I looked at everyone and said, would everyone please stop what you're doing? Stop eating, stop drinking. We're about to begin the program now. They all shut up. That whole room went quiet, except for one human being, Mr. George Takei himself, in the front row, table number 1, and it was just him laughing. The weirdest laugh on the planet. Who laughs like that? Other than George Takei. Does anyone have a friend that, it's like a cat and a hairball coming out. It's like, just never hear that. It's very rare. But again, he was definitely one of my role models. Because what else could I see back in my young years? I was born in 1968, so as a 7-year-old, I would have been 1975, I think. Other than Star Trek, no positive portrayals of Asian Americans. The other show on the air rerun was Bonanza with Hop Sing. What did Hop Sing do? Oh, Mr. Cartwright, can I wash your dirty underwear? Oh, Mr. Cartwright, can I make you some Franks and beans? I was like, oh my gosh, this is not the role model that I need. So George Takei was definitely somebody who, it made me proud, I guess. And you need to have that type of representation when you live in America, if you're a person of color. And the only other thing that was out back then was, you guys remember this commercial with like, Mr. Lee, how do you get your clothes so clean? Ancient Chinese secret. Then he walks back, and the wife comes in like, we need more Calgon. So it was the Calgon commercial. Maybe 3 of you know this commercial. Yes. Asians have had a lot of 1 step forward and then 2 steps back in this country. The first matinee idol back in the silent screen era was an individual by the name of Sesu Hayakawa. Mr. Hayakawa was he was it. He was so much of a leading man and beloved actor that they decided to give him his own studio. You know what? Mr. Hayakawa, we're going to give you your own studio. You decide who your co-stars are. You decide what movies to do. It's all you. He's like, okay, where do I sign? Right here. 1 week later, Pearl Harbor happened. That immediately took away Hayakawa's deal, so gone, right? So it's always been a lot of one step forward, two steps back. I remember when Crazy Rich Asians came out. Came out in the theaters, that was an amazing film. I cried watching that just because to see a feature film in terms of a national release across movie theaters all around the nation, where all the main characters are Asian, never happened before. Because up until then, it was always like a whole bunch of Asians and Tom Cruise. Then the pandemic hit. So it's literally two steps back for every step forward, and there goes some water on the ground. But George has always been the most absolute biggest role model for me. My other role model was Rich Little, the impressionist, loved him. Oh, you're trying to take a picture? I'll pose for you. Go ahead. In about 5 seconds. You ready? Go. Okay, see, that's going to be much more clear. The other one that you have is going to be like this. Okay, so.
You can do that
Crazy
again.
Rich Asians. What's that? Oh, for you guys too? Okay, fine. I'll give you the Sears Tough Skin look from the catalog.
All right.
Remember that pose? It's always like over the shoulder, like, look at my jeans. They're nice, aren't they?
Thank you.
Say. It's funny because people always mistake that. I was in 50 Most Beautiful People issue. Everyone's like, you were in the 50 Most Sexiest People. No, it's Most Beautiful People. Funny enough, if you have that issue from 1997, on one page it's Rebecca Romaine. If you flip it over, it's me. And in the history of that issue, it's a very good issue to be in. The only other Star Trek member to be in that issue was Sir Patrick Stewart. So for a long time, it was Sir Patrick Stewart and myself, and then finally Rebecca Romaine gets into Star Trek, and also Michelle Yeoh. And she's been in it before, and she got into Star Trek, but forever it was just Patrick Stewart and me. Getting onto Voyager was a huge thing in my life, and one of the things for me is I'm very aware of racism in this country. Living in Memphis, Tennessee, I was made aware that I was not the right race by a lot of people. It was difficult. I endured name calling every day for the 8 years that I lived there. So when I got to Hollywood, my whole thing was I want to portray a non-stereotypical character that will prevent a younger Asian kid in Memphis from being ridiculed or called names. I'm proud to say that, yeah, thank you. Okay. Do not have a gong go off when I walk into the room. That's the start. And I said, when Harry goes into the mess hall, he goes up to the replicator, please don't make him order kimchi or, some type of fried noodles. Let's just make him Starfleet first, Asian second. And they remembered this. Season, I think, end of season 1, maybe season 2, the head of wardrobes was, very concerned about a type of garment that I had to wear. So I was told, hey, come on down to wardrobe and meet with the head of wardrobe. They want to talk to you about this, I guess it was non-uniform wear. It was sort of our R&R time, going down to the planet, wearing our normal clothes. So they showed me this shirt, which kind of folded over, kind of like an Asian garment. But that's about it. There's a lot of patterning on there, a lot of, different things that really made it not Asian. So I said, no, this is perfectly fine, but thank you for coming to me first to let me approve this. And then the head of wardrobe told me, oh yeah, by the way, Garrett, this garment is repurposed. It's worn by another Star Trek actor, not on your show, but on Next Generation. I said, oh, who by chance wore this? And that's when I was told that this garment was worn by Patrick Stewart. And I'm a huge Patrick Stewart fan. So when they said that, I said, oh, I will wear this as a bandana, as a diaper, any way you want me to wear this. If this is on Patrick Stewart, you got it. This could be my regular uniform for the rest of the show. I don't even have to wear anything else. I'll just wear just the top. That's all I do. But I felt so honored to have Patrick Stewart's clothing on me that he wore at TNG. I met Patrick Stewart for the first time on the set of Voyager. We were filming the 3rd episode. And I walked on the set, and the director was sitting there in his director's chair, and the monitors in front of them, and right next to Patrick Stewart, right next to the director was Patrick Stewart. And I remember walking on the set, because no one told any of us that he was going to be there. But let's say you guys are Patrick Stewart, so I remember just walking in and I was like, and then I sat there for a second, I gathered myself, I said, okay, be cool, do not embarrass yourself, do not embarrass yourself, do not embarrass yourself. Walked up, hello, Mr. Stewart, how are you? My name is, and he interrupted me, and he said, I know who you are. I started shaking at that point. He continued, he said, I had the chance to watch your pilot episode, Caretaker. I'm like, he saw the pilot. And then he said 2 words to me that changed my life. He said, excellent work.